Welcome to Make It a Better Day. I'm Daniel, and as always, I'm here with Megan.
Hey everyone! I almost didn't make it to the studio today because I got caught up in this amazing conversation with my elderly neighbor about her victory garden.
That's actually perfect for today's topic. We're diving into From Pixels to People, Forging Meaningful Communities in the Digital Age. There's this quote from Brian Solis that stopped me in my tracks: community is much more than belonging to something, it's about doing something together that makes belonging matter.
Wow, that hits differently after my morning. Here I was, planning to just wave hello to Mrs. Chen, and suddenly I'm learning about urban farming during World War II and how her whole street used to coordinate their vegetable growing.
That's exactly what we're talking about. I've been thinking a lot about this because I had this wake up call last month. I was scrolling through Instagram, looking at all these posts from my friends, and I realized I hadn't had a real conversation with anyone in days.
Oh man, the scroll hole. I know it well. What did you do about it?
Well, that's the funny thing. I actually found real community in the last place I expected: a Facebook group. Stop laughing.
No, I'm genuinely curious. Because usually Facebook groups are where community goes to die.
Right? But this Buy Nothing group in my neighborhood completely changed my perspective. Last week, someone posted that they needed a baby gate. Within an hour, 3 people offered gates, and 2 others shared tips about baby proofing. Then somehow it turned into this whole conversation about forming a babysitting co-op.
That's fascinating because it challenges this idea that online communities are somehow less real. What made this one different?
I think it's because we're all actually doing something together. Like last month, when that family lost their home in a fire, the group didn't just send thoughts and prayers. People offered temporary housing, donated clothes, even organized a meal train.
That reminds me of something I saw fail spectacularly. Remember that neighborhood app everyone was using?
Oh no, the one that turned into a digital neighborhood watch?
Exactly. It became this toxic space of people reporting suspicious characters who were usually just, walking down their own street. Pure passive surveillance, zero actual community building.
Such a good point about the difference between passive and active community engagement. It's like that study I read. Apparently, we spend an average of 147 minutes daily on social media, but reported feelings of loneliness are at an all-time high.
That's almost 2.5 hours. Imagine if we spend even a fraction of that time on actual community building. Like that urban garden project you were telling me about.
Oh yes. This was amazing. Our local library had this unused courtyard, right? Someone in my gardening Facebook group suggested turning it into a community garden. But instead of just talking about it, she created this Google Doc for people to sign up for different tasks.
How did that work out?
It was messy at first. People would sign up and not show up. We had some heated debates about whether to go organic. But here's the thing: those conflicts actually helped build stronger connections. We had to learn to disagree productively.
That's fascinating. You're saying the challenges actually strengthened the community?
Exactly. And now we have this beautiful space where people not only garden together but also teach classes, host community dinners, and even started a seed library.
I love how this went from digital to physical and back again. You're using WhatsApp to coordinate garden maintenance, right?
Yes. And we've got teenagers making TikToks about urban farming, which somehow got the local high school interested in starting their own garden.
Okay, I know our listeners are probably thinking, this sounds great, but how do I actually start? Can we break this down into super practical steps?
Perfect idea. First step, and this is crucial: start with something you genuinely care about. Don't just join random groups hoping to find community.
Right, like my passion for reducing food waste led me to start that composting Discord server. which, by the way, now has 200 members and 3 active composting sites.
Second step, use digital tools to facilitate real-world action. Like, our garden group uses a shared calendar for watering schedules, but the real magic happens when we're actually getting our hands dirty together.
Third step, be the one to make the first move. I notice a lot of people wait for others to organize things.
Yes. And fourth, this is important, embrace imperfection. Our first community garden workday was a disaster. Half the tools didn't work, it rained, and someone brought hot dogs to a mostly vegetarian group.
But you still consider it a success, right?
Absolutely. Because people laughed about it, problem solved together, and now it's part of our community's story.
I think that's what Solis meant about doing something that makes belonging matter. It's not just about being in the same digital space, it's about creating something together.
Exactly. So, listeners, here's your challenge for this week. Identify one thing you care about in your community and take one concrete step to bring people together around it.
And please visit our website and share your experiences with us. And on social using hashtag #MakeItABetterDay. We'd love to hear your community building stories, especially the messy ones.
Remember, you don't need to launch a massive project. Mrs. Chen's victory garden story started with just a few neighbors sharing seeds.
Speaking of which, I promised her I'd help set up her new raised beds this weekend.
That's all for today's Make It a Better Day podcast. Until next time, keep building those connections, one pixel and one person at a time.